Yeah, that was a nice trade. Upper band, very volatile. Upper band, very volatile. Morning, Gabriel. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. We've been trading for about a half hour now in the Discord. I'm up about 713 across 5 XFAs and Topstep. A little over 3 grand. Good stuff. I locked myself my cool down button. I hit my cool down button for 15 minutes. Letting this thing cool down so I can take some more educated trades. We got some serious volatility this morning. True Trader asks, once the session opens, do you favor prior days? Yeah, absolutely. We're always watching prior days all the time. And I always favor it. It's always higher time frames are always more powerful. And I start using the developing profile right away. You know, we had a couple of decent trade ideas right out of the open, even using the developing profile. Now, obviously, those levels are a lot lower probability and a lot weaker, right? So looking for scalps, tight risk. But my higher time frames are always the priority.
CNBC on the CPI report says, I'm very happy to see inflation is well behaved. That's a US Council of Economic Advisors chief from Iran, who's also a Fed governor pick, speaking on CNBC now.
So, you know, we're going to be coming down to the bottom edge of a bit of a, you know, from the last
CPI report says there's no evidence of tariff-induced inflation.
4 days of trade and last 4 sessions, we're about at the value area low down here. So if we're going to continue ranging, this is the spot to long. We also have monthly upper band. Thank you, Gabriel. Appreciate the support. So 680.
Iran does add that there will always be relative price changes. And says no evidence of inflation at the aggregate level.
You know, is that just one giant flush and we grind up from here? I mean, look how many times we've held monthly upper band. You know, why would we assume it's going to break now? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Monthly upper band is clearly quite important. That would be monthly VWAP upper band, David. Monthly VWAP's at 347. Morning, Travis. It'll be interesting to see if this turns into another leg down.
Iran says a massive insurge of renters boosted rent prices.
David, make sure that your Ninja is loading the full month's worth of price data. If you don't tell your chart to a Ninja to load that much data, it's not going to, and it's going to give you the wrong levels. So the best thing you can do is scroll back on your chart to the first of the month. Make sure it's there. Because when you set up the charts, you tell it how many days you load. And unless you have a full month of data there, it's not going to be there. Tick strike stopped working. What a nice long that was.
Iran says no material increase in new car inflation.
All right, I'm back in business. 30 seconds.
US CEA's Moran says most economic data comes from.
No, this is where we went short.
Element of noise, which has increased.
We went short up there.
Years. CPI data rarely gets revised, he adds.
Good morning, Joe. Okay, so you see what level that reversed at. RTH VWAP. Down almost 30 points from there already.
And Moran says incentive schemes can drive response rates higher. And what has economic.
That was also
on bed
weekly VWAP.
Is paramount. White House Economic Advisor Moran on the Fed says it's up to the Senate on timing. The Fed board nominee Moran says it's up to the Senate whether approval happens by the September meeting. and Fed board nominee Moran believes tariffs will be borne by countries that we are tariffing. Moran ends his remarks on CNBC.
So it'll be interesting to see whether we continue to trend down or we begin to balance here a bit. I'm anticipating a bit of a balance. So we'll see. I'm long at 95. See if they can bring this thing to 710, and I'll be done. Go, 710, come on. Right there. Done. Boom. So that was a long off the, we supported at value area low or lower band on the RTH. So we got, we're just starting to balance out, right? Yeah, Sonny, the range bars should work just as well as the candles. The price levels should all stay the same. You can try and compare them, Sonny. In my testing, VWAP, upper band, lower band, volume profile, all that stuff stays the same with range bars, tick candles, all of it. So that was a back test, a lower band, right through VWAPs, guys. Kind of what we saw back here, the complete opposite. All right, 10:15. And I hit my profit target. So that means we're on day 4 of these XFAs, which means I only need one more day of 150 bucks. And I can take out at least 10K. Sunday, they should work fine. Yep. So I'm going to shut these bad boys down for today. And I'll switch over to my Take Profit Trader account. That's the other account I've been working on. Haven't had as much luck there, but that's all right. This one's working well. Nice long.
Trump posting on Truth Social says trillions of dollars are being taken in tariffs.
So that was, the story was on the RTH VWAP, guys.
He says this has been incredible for our
And if you were long
and general wealth. And just
off of monthly upper band, you could have taken that all the way back to session VWAP as well.
That tariffs have not caused inflation or any other problems for the country other than massive amounts of cash pouring into our treasury's coffers. Trump also says it has been shown for the most part that...
No, I'm usually taking 1 or 2 minis on the 150K. Sometimes I'll take a third. But it's usually 1 or 2 minis. Nav says, this system has helped me pass funding challenges, objective-based trading. Thanks for doing these. You're very welcome, Nav. I'm glad to see it's helping you. If we are using TradingView, what's the indicator we need to get set up for the VWAP bands altogether? I have a video on that, Asil. Let me share that with you. This is, I recommend you joining the free Discord. All this stuff is in there. This isn't where I teach the basics. This is live trading. All the basics are taught in the video series. So with the minis, my stop, if I'm fresh on the day, I probably don't want to give it more than 100, 200 bucks maybe. Once I built a little cushion, 500. If I have a lot of cushion and I'm trying to wrap up, I might give it a lot more room. Even 1,000 bucks, I'd go as wide as. So depends on the levels. It's not like I always give it 15 points or I always give it. It's discretionary. It's based on the chart. It's based on where I'm at with my profits on the day. It's based on the setup. It's based on the quality of the setup. I mean, there's a lot of, it's not just static across the board. Now, for some people, they don't have that discretion or experience built up to be able to do that, right? So they'll use static. That's fine. But eventually you want to get past that. Back test of RTH VWAP there, guys, almost to the tick. We're at point of control on the RTH volume profile.
Russell 2000 hits a 2-week high, lost up 1.6%.
Well, Russell's up 2%. Dow is up 1% too.
At the bottom of the hour, we're expecting comments from Kansas City Fed President Schmidt, who speaks on the Southern Economic Development Council annual conference. A text is expected, as well as a Q&A at the bottom of the hour. The US stocks extend gains with the Dow Jones up 1%.
All right, I'm locking myself out of these accounts so I can't screw it up. Come back tomorrow and get my payout. That's the goal. Get paid. All right, so Topstep is done for today. Crazy. What a reclaim. Look at these 1 hour candles. They're massive. Yeah. Huge rotation. Oh, sorry, Sia. I think I sent you the wrong link. My mistake. Glad you found it, though. What is this one?
So now US CEA Chairman Ron speaking on Fox News. Miran says the BLS numbers have deteriorated in quality over the years.
Yeah, wild volatility, guys. I mean, that's what? 180 points up, 150 points down, 150 points up. All in, what, 2 hours? Crazy. So also, this was a good level. Value area high on the RTH upper band session. Seems like this could be the bigger rotation. If we're going to balance out, this is a good spot to go short. Ah, that sucks, True Trader. Played it off to the tick, man. I mean, it touched RTH almost to the tick. Ah, yeah, it was. So, if you're going to try and get filled at first touch, you might want to front run it a bit. Because, a lot of people are front running these things.
Miran now ends his remarks on Fox News.
6150 is like what it went to the tick. That's crazy.
5 minutes time now at the bottom of the hour. Kansas City Fed President Schmidt speaks at the Southern Economic Development Council annual conference. A text and Q&A are both expected.
Morning, Tony. Thank you, sir. I want to make sure I'm Ade Coyotemon. Ade Coyotemon? I'll call you Ade for short. Yeah, it took me a long time to grasp it myself. These are not, the simplest of concepts, but so we're at weekly upper band here as well. It'll be interesting to see whether they just push it through this level. All right, hit profit target on this. That was fast. Average 12-second trade time. Toasty says your channel and VWAP have helped me dig this eval back from the hell that ICT put it in. Love that. Toasty, that's awesome. Barack Obama says, do you have a 100% win rate? Every day I see you in the green. No, you missed a good stretch a couple of weeks ago where I was kind of in a bit of a drawdown. So, I have good weeks and I have bad weeks. That's trading. You can't win all the time. Right now, I've been doing well. I've been trading really well the last 2 weeks or so. But there was a spot late July, last week in July. That's awesome, Trader Matt. That's great stuff, man. I've went through all of Corb's stuff, and I think I talk about that on the podcast with Austin Silver.
Pounds, we expect a text release from Fed Schmidt.
Corb's is great. I think I took a lot of, what he talks about, and I think I simplified it, and I gave specific setups. He talks about trigger levels, things like that. I think we have ours a little more clearly defined than how he does it. How he does it works for him, obviously. He also looks for bigger moves and he only trades ES.
Ten seconds.
I would be honored if he has me on. I don't think, has he been doing a lot lately? It seems like he's taken a step back. I haven't seen much coming out of him lately.
So seeing comments from Fed Schmidt, retaining modestly restrictive monetary policy stance is appropriate for the time being. Schmidt says, I support a patient approach on changing Fed policy rates. Policy rate is not far from neutral and inflation is too high. Tariffs' limited effect on inflation is a reason to...
IB, we got ourselves an initial balance.
...to cut rates. Says tariffs likely muted the effect on inflation.
Hey guys, look at YM.
Tariffs likely
Good call.
muted the effect on inflation is a sign that policy is appropriately calibrated. Says, I see no possibility that the effect of tariffs on prices will be known.
YM is on a tear.
And I'll adjust my views accordingly.
Fuego.
Signs of significant weakness in demand growth.
All right, looks like it might want to try and push out this time, but we have this low volume node here. Right here. All right. We have all this great confluence. We have value area high, RTH upper band, session upper band, low volume node on the RTH, value area high on the composite. This is a big level right here. Fed Schmidt, tariffs seem to be having a limited effect on inflation. Imagine that. All the economists in the world said. All right, well, I'm not trading this one anymore. I'm going to open up a, maybe I'll try my hand at cash, guys. It's been a little bit. See what we get. What just happened there? Screwed that one up pretty good. We are able to break out of here. We can get a pretty nice move up. All right. Get rid of this level. Be right back, guys. Leaving?
Politico, Trump officials mull Fed's Jefferson for Fed chair position. So keep in mind yesterday, this was according to 2 administration officials, again yesterday, Bowman and Jefferson were already being considered.
$65 is the level to break. Can't break above it. I'm thinking higher, you know, failed breakdown. Higher lows on the higher time frame. You know, maybe not with some balancing first while they load up. So is that going to happen now or is that going to happen in 2 hours? I have no idea. LJ was a great morning. A lot of people did really well this morning. We even had a cool off. I hit my 15-minute cooldown button because I was hitting so many winning trades. I was afraid I was just going to do something stupid. All right, is this it? Oh, come on. Loves to do that, man. Boom. They're really trying to push it through this level. That's what it looks like to me. Flat top breakout, rising wedge. It's not perfect, but you can see it on the 1 minute. This is typically what we see as it's revving up to break a level. Is it guaranteed? No, but this is typically what we see. Doesn't mean there can't be a flush too before it actually does do it. But here's the level, right? So I would not be fading this band anymore. At least I'm not. You guys are welcome to do whatever trade you like, but this looks like a pending breakout. Now it can break and fail, and we come all the way back down and go back down to VWAP. That can also happen. Juan, there is not, unfortunately. Can't put the bands in Project X yet. As we've seen, it can do this for a long time before it actually goes break. So yeah, Juan, supposedly it's on the development list, like they're trying to add it, or it's in development to be added, but it's not available currently. So many of us chart in TradingView or Ninja or Tradeovate and just execute on Project X, which could be tough to do if you don't have two monitors, at least two monitors. Tough to do on just one. Tough. You talk about the bands on Project X? Believe it when you see it. Yeah. Guys, it's not even 11 o'clock yet. Killed it early this morning, huh? Is this it? No killing here for Chuck. Sorry, Chuck. I'll give you one of these. Give you a hug. There you go. Still holding. What I wonder is going to happen is like this flush and then bzz. Or we could get one of these. Bzz. Loves to fake people out on the first move. And that's why I scalp. It's a lot harder to fake me out on the first move when I'm already out before it's done faking. I'm going to try something interesting. So I'm going to export all my trades from Project X. Okay, so I export all my trades, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to add the trades. And I'm going to say, please analyze my trades, break them down by day, and then add up cumulative ticks that were gained each day. Also give the total points with 4 ticks to a point. So this is going to show you, hopefully, if it works out the way I think it's going to work, how many ticks I got scalping versus, how many you can try and get in 1 or 2 trades, which is much harder. Hey, BTD. We already took, so Avi's asking, what scenario are you waiting for to get? So check this out. On the 7th, $263 ticks, 65 points, 230, 57 points, 220 ticks, 55 points. Very cool. So we've already shorted this upper band for scalps. So, we're in a distribution. We need to see this distribution break and hold to the upside or the downside. All right, so this is our distribution. Here's our value area high. We have a lot of confluence here. So break up or break down. I don't think so yet, Bill. That could have been the fake out before it breaks the level. Telling you, it doesn't tip its hand that easily. Could very well break down, but it could be a pre-breakdown before they rip it through this level too. Flush out the weak longs, suck in the early shorts, and use all of that for gasoline to rip it through the level. That's how they manufacture moves. Who is they? They. Them. Whoever them is. The big banks, the institutions, the Freemasons, Axe Capital, Citadel. You could get a little bit of a breakdown here. It looks a little bit bearish. I don't know if I would trust this as the big move down. It could very well be, but like I said, they could be sucking in the shorts, flush out the weak longs, and rip it. Flush everybody out first. The CVD looks weak. A lot of sellers stepping in here. And would they just reclaim that whole candle almost, or half of it? Telling you, JP, there is edge in scalping. It's not easy. It takes some practice. But once you get better at it, there's a lot of edge in scalping. These bigger traders can't trade like that. We have an edge. Certainly. What's going on, Chuck? Man. Bottom ticked out, huh? Right to the tick. Stopped out. Nice, JP. That feels good, right? Yeah, I was done by what? 10, 10:20 on my top steps. That happened fast. When we get some nice volatility, you can scalp real quick and be done. I had to cool down. It was so fast paced. Oh, I see it, Chuck. Algo Boys. Yep. Anybody ever read that book, Flash Boys? It's really good. If you haven't read it, it's not going to teach you how to trade or anything, but if you love trading, it's a great book. Flash Boys talks about like all the scalpers from the 90s and how they were kind of like ruining the exchanges, and it's really, really good. Excellent book. Well told story. Yep, he is. Sometimes, Logger, we're just on the wrong side. You know, we can't get a good read. That happens. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes days like that, it's best to just shut it down. You know, you can keep plugging away, maybe take a little break, take a little walk, clear your head, and try and sit down with a fresh mindset. What's the other one he wrote, Sonny? He wrote another one that was also really good. Can't think of it. He's written a few trading books. Algo Boys. That's what it was. The Algo Boys. No. Was it Algo Boys? No. Flash Boys. Well, Big Short, yeah. There was one other that I read. Liar's Poker. Another good one. I didn't know he wrote The Blind Side. That's cool. Yeah, Liar's Poker. That's the one I was thinking of. That was a good book. If you guys are looking for continuation longs, you should have been trading YM or the Russell for your price discovery fanatics, because that's the one that had all the opportunity. Russell, look at these moves. If you're wasting your time with NQ consolidating for the last 40 minutes, well, these things are having clean, beautiful rotations. Yep, ES, high day, Dow, high day, Russell, high day. NQ is the laggard today, the weak one. Gold. Looks like it's breaking down. If it breaks this level, it could see a lot of, it could go all the way down to 61. It could go down another $20. This is key. Logger, I tend to believe that, I don't know, sometimes it can grind through levels. It doesn't always explode through them. And if you look at the cumulative delta, it's fairly bullish. We'll see if it holds. I'll take the back test. Whoa. Might have been right. Because the level's got to hold. Damn. First move was first move fake out. Or is it just going to trap everybody? Trap everybody. So is that the back test? Where we go lower? What is the fake out? And then it's a fake out again. Can't trust every break. Most breakouts fail, don't they? Faking everybody out. Flushed out everybody who bought that breakout. Re-breakout. Gotta love it. What was that? 80 to, that was a 40-point flush. Right back up to the level. Right, Chuck? I want this to be easy. Why do they gotta make it so hard? I'm just trying to pull money out of here. Awesome. Maurizio, today is a green day for me, and for that I thank you and for you and your book. I've been trying to strategy for a week, and every day I make a profit. Awesome. Hey, Sam, that sounds interesting. Got some good data on the histogram from TraderBait. We'll drop in the Discord later. Can't wait to see it. And Scott says the thick black line, that's the RTH VWAP. The orange line is the session VWAP. That's a good one. Tough to share $1 trillion. I mean, come on. If we could all just give us a little bit of that piece, we all be happy. Oh boy.
So the US had to sell
Right back to the.
that was all I was reporting, settling on August 19th.
That's maddening, yeah. Here goes. Oh, that was close for you, JP. Wide stop loss on that one. Long-term portfolio looks good. Happy about that. A lot of buyers in that candle. Think we could take out these highs? What do you guys think? I think so. A lot of buying volume coming into NQ. I don't think it's going to be fast. I think it'll be a grind, but I think we'll get there. Just no sellers. Not yet, anyway. Goes. 800. Lots of buying, guys. The cumulative delta is off the chain right here. Thousands, hundreds of contracts on NQ. Firing off. All aggressive buys. Now, so you said that's 500 ticks with the combined contracts. It's 500 ticks total. So Trade of 8 adds all the contracts together and all the cumulative ticks. Here we go. I'm actually coming out of it. Oh, I have it turned off here. I was long down here at 89. Down to my last one. Does it break and hold IB? I think it will. Take it. Nice. The banana trade. I still kind of like it, actually. We'll see. Or is it just going to grind? Straight up it goes. Here we go. All-time highs. There it is. All right, I'm just kind of messing around now. Charlie, right now, you're right. I've only been trading the NQ, yes. Gold has been a lot more rotational. There has been some good trades on the Dow and the Russell. We have a lot of people in the room trading we have people in the room trading oil and Russell and Dow. Just because I'm trading NQ doesn't mean everybody trades NQ. There's a lot of trades being called out in the room that are not being. I'm not taking. I don't. We don't know how high this thing can go. We're at all-time highs here. Oh, wait, no, we're not. No, we're not. We still have some room to go to all-time highs. Yeah. Not many setups up here, obviously. You know, we're at all-time highs. There's no levels aside from the all-time high level. You could try the late price discovery entry long, which was already happened. From the advanced playbook, that was right here. That was a long trade. Goes. Still a lot of absorption. A lot of sellers up here. There it goes. And the bid is being supported. Nice, Sam. All-time high is 845. Yeah, so new all-time highs. Here we are. Nice. Yeah, now it's just grinding, right? The bid is being propped. No sellers in sight. Yeah, we could go up another 50 points from here. 100 points. 200 points. Who knows? Where we stop, nobody knows.
The stocks extending gains with the Nasdaq now up 1%. S&P up spot 85%.
See, when it does this, I like to look at my long-term portfolio and smile. Yeah. A little bit of a wick there. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here in about 10 minutes just because, you know, I've been done trading. There's not much to call up here. We might get a pullback down to this, you know, micro distribution in the low 830s. Could be a place to go long. Maybe we have a deeper pullback to IB high or one of the upper bands for a long trade. But that's really all there is at this point. Do you guys have any questions? Well, we have some time left here, another 10 minutes or so. Happy to answer any questions, both on YouTube and Discord while we're here. I think a lot of people had a good day today. We had some good trades. Pretty clean price action. That's a good question, Sonny. I don't know how you would have one against you. I mean, the only thing I could see is if you have two confluences you're looking to fade against. And then there's like something right below it that prevents you, you know, from taking profits. I would just look at it more of a scalp. But all of my trades are scalp anyway. So if I had two confluences, my favorite one against you, do I look? Yeah, I mean, it would be a C setup for sure. I mean, we're definitely in price discovery. All the metrics here say price discovery to the upside. That's all we got here. You know, we could balance out here sooner or later, but we don't have any information that says that. Not even a little. You know, Sonny, you definitely don't want to be longing into upper VWAP band. I would probably wait for the break and hold at that point. I don't know if I would take it right into a major level like that. So I would say it's not even a good setup. It's filtered out by having such a strong level against it. Sav, how are you? I had a shitty day after an amazing month. Lost my XFA and combines. What should I do next? I've been doing well. Maybe I'm just being greedy. I did take payouts. It's great. It happens to everybody. It happens to me. You know, I was trading a couple of XFAs. I took out two massive payouts over $20,000. And then I had a losing streak for that lasted like two weeks. It sucked. But I just show up every day and I keep trading the same. You know, sometimes size down, focus on process. You know, you don't want to come out swinging, but it happens to everybody. Happens to everybody. That's part of this profession, guys. Everybody goes through drawdowns and bad spells. You can't trade perfectly all the time. It's just unrealistic. So if you're expecting to trade well and profitably every day of the month of every month, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah, a lot. I mean, there could be. We can speculate. Yeah, it's approaching A plus setup.
Dixie down spot.
It's pretty darn close. Yeah, you got a zone here, Juan. You know, I would look at this as, you know, when we have like four levels all together here, I would draw them all together like that. So this is the buy zone. Right? I don't want to pretend like I know which of these levels to the tick is going to be the level we hold. So better mark it out as a zone. It's about 10 points and try to get a good price somewhere in this zone. Now it could go to IB high to the tick and run, obviously. Yeah, like, I don't know, we could speculate. We could say, like this is we can expect this to hold because it's regular trading hours, right? The volume, there's more conviction in the volume, right? Bigger players at work, more volume behind it. So yeah, I think um, there's something to that. But again, it's speculation at best. So Sam, I don't see the bid support on the DOM. I see it by the price behavior, right? It keeps going up with really barely any pullbacks or flushing. That's indicative of a supported bid. So not only are they letting the aggressors raise price, but anybody that sells is being sold into a supported bid. So you can see that just based on how, you can see that on the DOM, you can see it on the chart. It's just how the price behaves.
Takeover or VLS replacement even. They suggest suspending the monthly jobs report according to Fox Business.
We normally see that when it's grinding or going straight up or straight down. It also happens when they're supporting the offer. So they let the aggressors sell into the liquidity, move price down. Anybody who's buying gets hit into a passive orders on the offer as they keep moving it down. So you don't really see that oscillation you normally see when things are choppier or there isn't a supported bid or offer.
Dollar seeing further weakness here. Dixie now down spot 5%.
Still a relatively low volume pullback here.
Interview with EJ.
Starting to accelerate a little bit now.
Says he suggests suspending the monthly jobs report.
EJ and Tony suggest suspending monthly jobs report. What? Why would they do that? So on a sell-off like this, you could try and get in on the ask. And get on the bid, get out on the bid as it goes lower for scalps. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I suggest if you're going to keep trading, move on over to the trading lounge. You can share your mics. You can share your screens. You can collaborate with your fellow VWAP Wave System traders. There's a lot of experienced traders in there. If you have questions or still learning, that's a great place to get information and continue to see setups as they play out in real time using the system. And we're starting to see even better confluence at this level at the low 800s for the next long spot. So we'll see how that pans out. But this would be a good place to go long if we were going to revisit those highs. But it could be front run and we might not get there because we do have a low volume node right there. So watch out for that. All right, guys, manage your risk. Stay sharp if you're going to continue trading. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. in the Discord, Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. on YouTube. I'll go ahead and post my results now in the profit section. You're welcome, guys. Hope you had a great day. For those of you who didn't, come back tomorrow with a cool head and try and trade the process every single day, one day at a time. Have a great day, everybody.
Wall Street Journal reports that Perplexity makes a long-shot $34.5 billion offer for Google Chrome. Perplexity AI seeks to buy Google Chrome.